It's good. We're live. Hi all. Hi David. Hey Romain. Hey all. We will cover Hi Marketing's comeback. Hi Marketing is back under the name NeuroTechnology Global. We shared documents yesterday that confirm the same leaders are in charge. A quick reminder for those considering investing on the platform, it's an exotic investment. So don't put all your savings in, hoping to strike it rich and become a millionaire. That would be misleading. This platform is for investors who can handle high risks. And everything can disappear overnight. So it's crucial to keep that in mind. To invest without worry, remember this. Think carefully about investing based on your capabilities and don't overextend for this business. Now that we've discussed this, we can move on to the main topic. UDM Creator Ltd, as I shared with David yesterday on our channels, is the former company created with £100. PGSI Management Ltd is the new firm established with a capital of £100 million. There was one parent company in Hong Kong at first. They then created a second one. UDM Creator Ltd was formed to introduce their cashback card and to avoid the Russian restrictions they faced with a capital of $100. The second company, NeuroTech's Global, is PGSI Management Ltd. This is the new company established with a capital of £100 million. About the old company, I don't know if you remember, David, but it was overseen by a certain Mr. Breagzalo. He resided in Ukraine at the time. In the new company, it's exactly the same leader who is still in charge, but he has moved to England now. Why is this relevant? Due to the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, iMarketing's bank accounts and all their assets with the aggregators were locked. Recall, since the war began. This is expected as during war, conflicts are not only land-based, but they are economic as well. iMarketing generated big revenue via the aggregators, who promoted their services. What can he gather from this information? This confirms that some of the iMarketing team is still working on the NeuroTech project. One of the leaders, Mr. Breagzalo, isn't working solo. He has a capable team behind this project. They have engaged in several areas. I will also address the issue of funds. Regarding the funds, they may still be frozen with the aggregators. No part of the team left with them. But we must not forget that the new company was opened with £100 million. They might return it to the users. Personally, I doubt it. In various sectors, there are tight deadlines that do not obligate people to pay back their clients, and we aren't sure if they benefited from the funds of iMarketing's users. On the flip side, they have leveraged the same AIM technology. They have put in a lot of effort on various aspects to enhance it. The top priority is management. The business is now divided into 3 clear sections. It's quite intelligent for the company's strategic approach. One segment is in Canada. It's likely for a simple reason. It's likely a major hub in North America. I believe it's the second or third largest hub. The biggest hub for computer engineers. The second segment is in England. It's the one launched with £100 million. This could be for the management of global banking systems. And there's one in Hong Kong. This might be for tax optimization. The elements I present tonight remain hypothetical, but are nevertheless quite credible. Point number 2 is an improvement made to the affiliate plan. The new affiliate plan is much more sustainable than the previous one. Now we do not receive a percentage on the reinvestments made by our subsidiaries. And these reinvestments are also not included in our structural revenue. This will likely displease many, particularly for marketers who build extensive networks. Yet, this remains unhelpful for the company's longevity. It indicates they manage their costs, especially related to sponsor compensation. They also run advertising campaigns more efficiently. The platform and the code have been upgraded as well. For this part, David, I'll let you speak and share your expertise.
Yes, so first of all, it's important to understand one thing. And just to revisit what Roman said, whether it's part of the previous team, just one person, or the entire team, we have no clue. The only thing we know is that on paper, there is one person and the name that recurs. According to the findings, it's the same person due to the same birth date, and it's the same dates listed for each. The second point is that Romain may not have highlighted this enough. It's an exotic business, meaning we are fully detached from it. Therefore, don't expect any guarantees from us. We are merely opportunistic investors. And when we spot an opportunity or the beginning of a project, we go for it, especially since, as you know, the previous IEM platform was one we valued. And I'll touch on that later, especially about the code. So let's talk about the code now. It's very simple. We will quickly go over this part since tonight is a brief live presentation, and then we will delve deeper in other videos with Romain later. So the code. You should know one thing. As a coder, developer, webmaster, what interests me is to see if there are correlations between one website and another. And as Romain pointed out, he searched more for the managers. And I'm focused on the code, checking for links between the original IEM code and the NeuroTech code. What's really interesting, despite all that we might hear online, is that there are correlations. So how do we find out if these correlations exist? All you have to do is open your browser, and this is accessible to everyone with the code inspector tool. Therefore, we are going to check if we can find, for example, comments within tags, or if we can find, for instance, fragments of code that had already been used before at IEM, and that would be transferred to NeuroTech. So this kind of thing, of course, I did it. I have identified certain things. We cannot yet guarantee 100% that the coder is the same as on IE marketing. It is always tricky to express and confirm this. Nonetheless, there are several tools available that help uncover things that are consistent. You know that when you're a developer, you often use databases, codes that have been pre-recorded or written either by programmers who put online, if you wish, a portion of their work or tutorials that we will reorganize. And that's what I find interesting to see in NeuroTech's code, snippets of JavaScript or jQuery code or others that will be taken up on NeuroTech. So you see, libraries are important, is essential to see if there's a real correlation between two sites. Next, we discuss data protection. And if we utilize, for instance, similar implementations between IE Marketing and NeuroTech, we can logically assume there's a correlation between these two platforms. So I want to clarify that right now, I'm just touching on things for you to grasp. And then we have all the analysis tools like traffic analysis, such as, for example, last time I showed you in a video, a tool I frequently used back then called SimilarWeb. So if you find the same sections on IE Marketing and NeuroTech, well, they are the same. It's beneficial for understanding the correlation between these two sites. In conclusion, I would say that a deeper analysis will allow us to get closer to the truth regarding the fact that it is the same entity. Once again, I really emphasize this. I'm being cautious. Although it's the same entity, but perhaps it's not the same team. There may be things we can't know. Internal conflicts might exist in a company. One could be part of a manager's life, etc. Just like in any company, in any workplace. That's it. what's interesting is that on the site at present, in the dashboard, when you sign up, you see a dashboard very similar to e-marketing. So two options. Either it's a knockoff, meaning someone has intentionally recreated the e-marketing landscape to better fool people, or it's the e-marketing team and they've improved their interface. And here we have an interface that is reasonably well designed. I wouldn't say we're flawless, but it's quite well considered. In fact, they have repaired issues that were poorly set up at the start on the e-marketing platform. They fixed just about all the errors, David. A lot. I can't say it all, not everything.
Regardless, since last week, there have been a good number of malfunctions that iMarketing encountered.
Yeah, first the site's fluidity. I don't know if you remember, but sometimes we had incredible latency. We were unable to connect due to too many users logging in simultaneously, making requests for updates, if you will, on the dashboards regarding sales, etc. Why? Because the APIs were directly linked to the e-marketing site. That was a significant error. And just a small aside, when we wanted to create coupons, well, we had seen the e-marketing work. We set it up so the APIs could. Finally, the numbers for the stores didn't match those on the affiliate sites. Therefore, you can't actually locate the affiliate site we were using. We used a lot of them. And indeed, the reason we halted the project is that there were just too many affiliate sites. And across all the affiliate sites, we found there were a few affiliate sites that were trustworthy and many, unfortunately, that were unreliable and didn't pay cashback. That's why we stopped coupons. But to get back to NeuroTech, what's interesting is that if you look closely, the images used to be a call right on sites like Admitad. Well, now they've stopped doing that. They capture the image and they make calls every 15 minutes to update the dashboard. This will greatly reduce the load on the site, if you will. So whether you're a webmaster or a developer, these are things we take very seriously. Therefore, it's similar. The cookie files you can see are all optimized. In fact, you don't need to be a developer to notice this. Just open the code inspector and you'll see that there are timers set up. And by the way, you no longer have visibility regarding sales. At this level, I'm not saying we lack it elsewhere, but at this level, that's it. They also focused on security. They utilized tools that are fairly similar to IAM. So is it coincidence or not? Once again, the question is raised. And with respect to the budgets for ad campaigns, because I've had many questions about it, it's important to understand one thing. When we launch an advertising campaign, we already have a defined budget. For example, when I was doing a bit of tropes, I had a maximum budget already established. Therefore, I ensured that this budget would give me the chance to test products before using my full budget. So it's very basic, whether on Google or social media. We have what we call an ad set, and within that ad set, we have ads, which are advertising campaigns. Sometimes for the same product, sometimes for different products. We'll test these ads, and when we find a profitable one, we'll increase the budget. So it's essential to know in advance how much budget we have to run this advertising campaign. We don't want to lose, so to speak, the evolving and growing side of advertising. Thus, when I see campaigns that start slowly, I think that's actually a good sign. It doesn't mean the site is reliable. I keep myself completely detached, whether emotionally or as an investor. I stay entirely removed from any feelings I might experience. When I invest, personally, I have invested, but that's just my own business. It should be everyone's responsibility. We're not here to nurture people and say, go for it, it's a sure thing. Nothing is certain in this world. Nothing is guaranteed given the current account. Currently, economically, geopolitically, etc., nothing is certain. No one is an expert in economics. No one is a pro in politics. Just turn on your TV channels. You'll notice that the so-called good ones are the ones who are making us go into debt, etc. So, well, it's still risky. Nonetheless, I always say that if you position yourself early, the chances improve. I emphasize there are better chances. I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed. There are better chances that will break even and make a profit. That's my perspective. That's just my take. And remember, this video shouldn't make you overly enthusiastic about investing. You should do it according to your means. Don't dislike yourself for it. And above all, take time to think. Evaluate if you have the ability to analyze. And all will work out well. That's what I wanted.
We're speaking about the resurgence of e-marketing, but this is relevant for all projects people might consider. Whether it's tokens, stock trading, or any investment, it's still risky. And now we're discussing Neurobot. It's still viewed as a risky, exotic investment on the internet. So from that point on, everyone takes on their responsibilities when investing.
Sure. Furthermore, all the info we're providing today is from our own research. Naturally, whether it's Romain, me, or others. Also, this info is for informational use only, and nothing beyond that. Don't take this information as reliable sources, because before, when I was known to most of you through software called Alizacion, when I spoke, some assumed we were the only ones who knew the truth. No, we're simply developers. I was just a developer alongside my partner initially, and thus, what intrigued us, what fascinated us was analyzing things, discovering what we could find, and then using our skills to serve the community. That's what it's all about.
And compensating those who were interested in the platform. The purpose is here today.
So, whether it's understood, whether it's Romain or myself, we have no connection to NeuroTech. We don't work for them. We're not employed. We're not privileged. We have nothing, folks. We're just investors like you who have invested from the outset. We're fortunate because we might have connections. Romain talked to me about it, by the way, as we're always in discussion, constantly. And there you go. So I'm telling you, everyone should take their responsibilities and no one should accuse others because they participated or anything like that if things were to collapse. By the way, the results are alike. Remember that with AI marketing, the 35% was the promise made by AI marketing. 35%. Now, when you withdraw, 4% of your gains are leaving. So you're not at 35%, everyone. If you take that out, do the math, and you're only at 31%. It's simple enough. I mean, we're not going to.
They've optimized every aspect to really ensure the business lasts with a working economic scheme. You mentioned earlier coupons and affiliate platforms. There's nothing wild in this business plan. It just needs to be put into action. And I would have liked to start a business like this personally, to have the skills, financial and also time-wise. And then there's the team behind it because it's still a project. I'm talking about the business model, not the firm, but it's a project that would be wonderful to create.
Yeah, and actually, as Romain said, if I were to compare the two current structures, I'd say NeuroTech is better thought out for sustainability, because indeed the referral system is less and significantly less profitable. So you see, and secondly, the idea of reactivating the robot weekly, enabling NeuroTech to identify who is active or actually active on the platform, and two, to understand the budget ahead of time for the week to launch advertising campaigns. So it's very important to understand this. And an advertising campaign, just because it's not yielding returns at first doesn't mean it won't later. We actually have a phenomenon in advertising campaigns, which is interpreting the results to encourage campaigns with potential to become more and more, I want to say, rewarding. So we have recognized methodologies. We will scale the advertising. So we discussed two scales. We have horizontal scaling where we simply add more effort. So We have an ad set, an ad set, an ad, and at this point we raise the budget because the campaign is performing. And when the ad set performs fairly, we look for other ad sets below. If one ad set outperforms the others, we remove the ones that aren't working. We re-inject budget into the ad sets that work, etc. So it requires constant optimization and continuous monitoring of advertising campaigns. At any moment, a campaign can run out. At any moment, a campaign can go big, plus you need the budget, so we can't.
To summarize simply for those who are watching, David, they are indeed more intelligent and more prudent when it comes to launching advertising campaigns that will generate revenue. They go slowly.
I would mention, considering the limited insight we possess, that we need to be honest. I don't have authority over their campaign. I can't see what's going on. However, if I had to analyze this quickly, based on what I see, I would say that they would have learned the lessons of e-marketing too quickly. With a budget and deploying advertising campaigns left and right, it's a mistake. We must grow, allow growth, and never go faster than the machine or the investors, because we need to consider two things. It's that you have, on one side, people like us who invest on the platform, and then there are those behind who have campaigns and require cash flow to support the campaigns. So they have cash flow. They prove it with £100 million deposit. But here's the catch. The more people there are, the more liquidity will be required to fund the campaigns. Understanding that the campaign running on a dropshipping site could need as much as 7 to 10,000 in a day, we need to acknowledge the astronomical sums that it can demand. However, we have the ROI. The ROI is the conversion rate, which can be... So we're mentioning, naturally, if we're talking drop shipping, we'll focus more on Facebook ads, a bit of Google, etc. But with an ROI of 2.5, it means that for every euro invested, we'll get 2.5 euros back. So above that, we're in a great position. At 2, we're profitable and around break even. Below that, we're not good. We're not good.
Below that, they stop the campaign and launch another one that's a bit better optimized.
Yeah, sometimes it's a detail, because with two identical campaigns on the same products, it's just the image that makes the difference. Sometimes it's just the wording of the texts. All right, and don't forget they have a service as well. And I had previously created a video on programmatic in advertising campaigns. That's a whole other universe, and it's much bigger. And there, of course, you need a big budget to send. And we know they make use of it. Okay? So I believe there's a combination of things established to be profitable. There you go. I'm stating this is my opinion. It really doesn't affect anyone else. It's just me. It's my duty.
That's it. It's the duty of everyone involved. Just a quick note for the conclusion, David. I think we've discussed the feedback from IEM known as NeuroBot, at least from the team's perspective.
So what's important to understand is that there are definitely people who will want to turn a blind eye to this. I've had a couple who refuse to recognize it, who say yes, but they're working on the site, etc. We won't be deluding ourselves for long. Obviously, there's the person. It's her who made the deposits. On the English side, it's surely Ukrainian. On this, we can't deny it. We can't really contradict this information. Now, maybe it's a fabrication. We can't promise
from
it.
The English government and Queen Elizabeth II.
That's it.
But for
a regular user, logically, it's the same organization. To finish this off, we don't know what transpired, and I seriously doubt, from what I've noticed, as there are videos circulating, I honestly doubt there's anyone in direct contact today at the time we're recording this video with them. That's why not either. I will be very clear. I don't believe it. So if you hear people saying, yes, but I was told by a credible source that this and that, we've heard that for years. We don't accept it. So just to finish, to sum up, as this is really a simple, quick presentation video, To finish, we disclaim. Finally, we disclaim all responsibility related to this platform. You see it? We, as individuals, invest. It's our own business. And no one should feel obligated to begin with. Because when a platform finishes, like AIM, well, there's a good chance. Let's not kid ourselves. There's a good chance it will end the same way. It's often like that, unfortunately. Now, we're not here to inspire dreams in anyone. We need to be straightforward. So, if you want to get involved, it's better to do it sooner. That's all. The later you join, the more risks you'll assume, and especially ask yourself the right questions if you were on AIM. Why did you join AIM? You were on AIM to make a profit. Why didn't you make a profit? There's an influencer we listen to with Romain, who is quite good, by the way. We hear you.
Hello.
Props to you because you're quite skilled. And here's what he tells his community. If you were on AIM, you earned profit. You must be satisfied. If you were on AIM and didn't earn profit, ask yourself, why didn't you profit? Did you come in too late? Did you fail to follow the rule of withdrawing money regularly? 1/3, 2/3? So stick to the strategy. Did you want to reinvest it all because you saw dollar signs? You said, in a year, I'll be done. I'll stop working. Reflect on the right questions. Since, if that's true, it may be your error, not solely AIM's fault. Certainly they are to blame. Let's not fool ourselves, they are at fault. But, so I'm putting it out there like this. Don't commit if you have doubts. Stay out of debt. No one wants to lose money. So if you proceed, it's with the hope that initially you recoup your expenses and later you see profit. That's all. No guarantees, nothing whatsoever. I feel I was pretty clear.
I believe we were clear, quite clear, David. We'll end the live and then we'll create another video shortly, quickly to explore the topic further and reveal the back office, and look into all the menus a bit more.
Do you want the menu? Sure, because it can be smart to use the strategy, the good strategy. If there's a strategy to put in place, it's better to have one that's well considered. For those who want to invest.
To maximize profit with the strategy. We'll wrap up the live. Thanks to everyone for joining. And David, we'll meet again soon. Okay? See you later. Good night, everyone. Ciao, ciao.